in the way you do. Holding my breath, unraveling emotions. I need some space to think this through. Call me all night long. Try to give you hints and a hard to see. Right on the line, no. Losing it on you's the last thing I need. If I'm honest, I'll just make you cry. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. I promise now's not the right time. And I don't wanna fight with you. I would rather lie to you. Look away so you won't see. Cause the pain is in my eyes.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Tier 2, Round 3 at Baku. Welcome along. With me today is CM Punk.
Hello, everybody.
And, well, if you watched yesterday's race, we should be in for a treat today. Lots of carnage and some good racing as well. And lots of safety cars. How many do you think we'll have? Give it a vote in the chat. And also, trying something else out. Throughout the race, if you've got a question you want to ask someone in an interview, please just add it in the question thing at the top of the chat. And make sure you say who it's for as well. We'll try and ask it to them at the end if it's sensible. Driver standings, Rompo Strat has won the first 2 races. So AR Gamer will be hot on his heels trying to get his first win on the board at round 3, and Equals not too far behind either in 3rd position. Mercedes well out in front in the constructors over double the points of Red Bull, and Alpine not far behind. But let's go out to the track as quali is about to start. And not quite a full grid today, but definitely enough to cause some intrigue. What do you think about this track?
Yeah, with 18 drivers on this track, it's definitely going to be a carnage, especially it's a league race. I mean, league races in Baku usually bring a lot of carnage and emotions, both positive and negative. So we're definitely looking forward to both of these. But yeah, we're going to have to wait, see and find out which way is this gonna go, because this might be one of the best races of the season, but it also could be one of the worst. So yeah, it's an absolute coin flip when it comes to Baku, in my opinion. This could be either absolutely perfect carnage or just absolute mayhem and just safety car after safety car after safety car. So we'll just have to hold on to our seats and see what's gonna happen at the end of the race.
Yep, well put. And their first few cars are coming out for their out laps. And there's quite a not much traction on this track in the game, so difficult coming out of corners sometimes, especially on old tyres with full tanks of fuel. You've got to be really careful about that, so that can also cause some issues, as well as all the tight corners, as we see Naiku going through the castle section. There might be a few victims today, but we'll find out. And it's all going to be about focusing on getting the right lap times in this first part of qualifying.
Yeah, absolutely. And another thing is that a lot of drivers on purpose, they give up a bit of the traction to gain some straight line speed advantage. Of course, we know that here in Baku, the straight line speed is probably the most important when it comes to this track. If not, it's the most important on the whole calendar, especially that season. So yeah, you're going to have to choose between a bit more traction or a bit more straight speed. Then most of the drivers will definitely go for that straight speed, which again is another percentage of risk added to the fact that you can end up in a wall. So we're going to have to keep our eyes open for that. And if I'm correct, Magnussen, okay, he joined the lobby. I was afraid he was already
retired
off,
already.
But he retired already. So Nico, I think he's going to be the first man to cross the finish line with the time on board, of course, unless he makes a mistake. Tipsy Bob has retired, but I'm pretty sure it was in the pit lane. I can't see a yellow flag anywhere. Can't see him at all, to be honest. But he didn't left, he retired, so Wonder what happened there. Anyway, Tipsy Bob is not going to participate in the qualifying session. In the meantime, Naiko is setting the first sectors of his first hot lap. Yeah, we basically have to wait to get some first times on the board to compare them a bit. So who would you just say is going to be on pole position for this race? Could this be a two-time winner already in this Tier 2's Rompostrat? Perhaps our gamer will challenge him or somebody else? Who do you see as a favorite
Yeah,
today?
well, I think Nike was really quick yesterday. It was interesting to see how he stacks up against the quicker pace of Tier 2. He might be firmly inside the top 5, perhaps. Crystals as well, if he has a good race, and Gul is always in contention. Yeah, I mean, you can't look past Rompostrat, who's won his first 2 races in SLR, and AR Gamer as well, who's always hard to beat. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see who can master this track. But Nike has set the purple sector 1. Unsurprisingly, if he didn't set purple sector 1, I'd be quite worried because he's the first to cross the sector line.
Yeah, exactly. So Mali also retired, but this time definitely in the pit lane because I peeked at him. So Mali retires in the pit lane again. I always wonder, was that because of a penalty because he can't participate or he just doesn't want to? Anyway, Naiko gets the time set 140.761 and Kamagas goes 0.8 slower than the Williams. So let's see who else gets the time. Dice 3 seconds slower. Something must have been very wrong. And Smelto and Cruiser getting just on the edge, but just behind Naiko with less than 100th of a second of gap. Crowley Voice around 0.4 slower than the leader. Lepson about 0.8 slower than the current pole sitter. Crystal's just behind Naiko. To say it's just behind is an understatement. He's just right on Naiko's back when it comes to this time, but he's still not there. There he goes, Rompostrat on provisional pole. Christian dethrones him 139.905. It's the first man to go underneath 140, and now we wait for the other challengers. See who could top him. Trying to seek for Gamer, but Gamer's on a medium tire, so he's not going to be challenging for pole just about yet. Equals, he is still in sector 1. Gurla, he is in sector 3, about to wrap his lap. It's not going to be the best one, but this could be just enough to be in the midfield. P10. So that is it for now, as Equals is just starting his hot lap. It seems like it's purple sector 1, but then again, with those purple sectors in that game, you never know, is it actually the fastest man on the track, or is this just some kind of issue? And look at Equals, he's going to have a lot of traffic ahead of him, so it's not the best situation for the Mercedes driver. He's going to have to be very careful of this traffic ahead of him. It's going to be a difficult spot to be in right now.
Yeah, and I was watching Rompostrat coming across the line. He had a huge slipstream from his teammate Equals, so he'll have benefited from that, but he's still a good 10th and a half or just under behind Christian at the moment. Let's see what Equals can do. That traffic may be of help to him now as he is coming up to it as he crosses the line, so he may get a nice little boost of slipstream as well, and that's really going to help him. So he could have come across that a lot earlier and it might have been a hindrance, but that's definitely a help as he's going to thunder his way down to the start finish line, and he goes above his teammate, 1/10 off the lead at the moment, which is with Christian.
Yeah, that is another great qualifying session so far for the Mercedes boys, who are at the moment dominating the Constructors' Championship. I'm trying to take a look at Red Bulls. Our gamer, despite going on mediums, he was faster than everybody else except for the top 3 while he was on the mediums, so that is a good prognosis for the Red Bull driver, while his teammate Mali, of course, doesn't participate in the qualifying session. Keyword Magnussen is on an outlap. Dice, he is trying to fix his time, but he had a bit of slip up right now in his second sector. Ooh,
Oh! I
just
just caught that. Yeah,
I
that's
was
what can
watching him
happen.
go, and I knew it's gonna happen when he turned too early into the left. So,
It was
unfortunately,
too early that time, yeah.
Dice is not gonna fix his time, so he's gonna start 16th if Keyboard Magnussen sets any kind of time on the board. So Dice is already down to P16, unfortunately, due to his crash. And that is the first victim of this season's Tier 2, Baku. So let's see who's going to be the next one, because I have a feeling it's not the last person to do the infamous I am stupid. So let's just wait and find out who's going to join this gang. So far, Equals is I believe, on an in-lap, so the only person on the quick lap as of right now should be keyboard Magnussen, and he is working on a quick lap. He went for the castle section. He's into sector 2 right now. Let's see what he can pull off, the Williams driver.
Yeah, imagine doing that castle section on a keyboard like this guy is. That's crazy.
Yeah,
He just extends the track on the right there, so he'll be invalid.
Ooh. Yeah, it's not gonna make that lap count, so we're gonna have to go one more time. Yeah, that castle section on keyboard, just can't imagine it's gonna have to be, has to be awful doing that. But then again, if you have some experience on that keyboard, then this could be just about to be done from you. I mean, depends on how good are you on that keyboard. Personally, I wouldn't be able to do that, but who knows, maybe keyboard Magnussen is the GOAT of the keyboard, and perhaps he can pull off something. Gonna have to wait to find that out as we hit the second rounds of laps with 9 minutes left to go. So let's see who's gonna challenge Christian as Larson joins the lobby. So perhaps we're gonna have 19 drivers for the race start.
Yeah, you've got to make a decision early, especially in qualifying, absolutely, about this castle section. If you're not going to make it, just go down the escape route. You'd rather that than take your wheel off and not have the chance to set another lap. But in the race, it's a bit different. You've got to try and make it, because if you go down there, your race is pretty much over. So let's see what Christian can do, if he can extend his gap, or will Equals and Romperstrat close up. And,
yeah, let's see what he can pull off. I'm trying to take a look at the front, what's going on there with the Haas, McLaren and Aston Martin trio. These guys are going very close to each other, maybe trying to take some of each other's slipstream, but they're too far away for now. So let's see, Christian dealing with a bit of traffic, but he's clean to go now as he's still on outlap, so we've got plenty of time. And let's see who's gonna improve himself after the second rounds of laps. So our gamer is gonna be making his first quick lap on soft compound tires. I'm interested to see what he can pull off, what he can show us here in Baku. 0.6 gap towards Christian on mediums, so this shift into softs could be game changing for him. We're gonna have to wait a lap to see. Is this gonna be the thing for him? Christian begins his quick lap right now, so does Romperstrat, and Equals is still on an outlap. So Christian and Romperstrat will be trying to improve themselves, what they can show us on their second lap.
yeah, very nice and tidy through the first two corners for Christian. See what he can do. Is he's going to cross the sector line as he comes through this corner and out of the next one. This is a difficult corner. You've got to, as I say that, as someone down the escape route, I was just about to say, make sure you don't lock up because you sort of have to turn and brake at the same time. He's slightly down on his sector time, is Christian, 0.028 of a second, but that won't distract him as he is coming through the most difficult part of the section, a bit wide through that corner. Might have lost out a bit, didn't see his first lap, so maybe that was a better line than he took before. And you can really use all the expert. They took out the curb there, so it's just the white line, so you can really get on the throttle early, but that is a pretty poor traction zone as well, so you've got to be careful of that in the race. Into this corner, which I think is the hardest on the track, make sure you get as close as you can to the exit so you can take a nice wide line, and almost 4/10 up Christian, so that middle sector really an improvement from his last lap. And see what he can do as he comes through the flat out kinks at the end of the lap and down the longest stretch of full throttle in the calendar. And the line being so far down here, you just got to make sure that you don't lose any unnecessary time. A 39.6 is absolutely outstanding. Romperstrat has abandoned his lap. He's in the pit lane, so the next one to cross the line out of the top guys will be AR Gamer, I think. Nike up to P5 as well, Run Cruiser P4.
Yeah, and Gamer improving by 0.4 after the first two sectors, so this could be a challenge to the front row, but this is so far nothing close to the pole lap of Christian so far, so he's gonna have to work harder than that to try to get close towards the championship contenders, guys like Romperstrat, Equals and Christian. So let's see what he can pull off. Crystals,
yes,
setting time for
nice.
P4, nice one from him. And Gamer, well, purple second sector. Now, is this an actual purple or is this Just a game glitch, we're about to find out as Gamer hits the final main straight. And let's see where he's gonna move. Definitely gonna improve, but how much, and is this gonna be enough? Throw the challenge to the big boys on top as Gamer crosses the finish line and he moves up to P2 right onto the front row just behind Christian, and that was indeed the second fastest sector. So our Gamer is just on the edge, but Christian is still leading in that fight for provisional pole position. So now we're gonna have to wait for the final set of laps to be fulfilled to see who's gonna be fighting for pole position, because Gamer and Christian so far seems to be above everybody else. We know that Rompostrat could improve because he was, I believe, improving on his second lap, but he invalidated that one, or at least decided it's not worth it. So Rompostrat will try once again. Equals is also in the range of a fight, but so far Christian and Gamer being in the league of their own, as the rest of the midfield are fighting very tight as well, because we can see that the differences between the guys in the midfield are also pretty small. So there could be a lot of shifts in the midfield, but we're gonna have to keep our eyes open on the pole position contenders. So Christian and Gamer, as they're preparing to get into the pits to set themselves for the final set of quick laps. There's not a lot of time in the session left, 3 minutes 40 seconds, so they're gonna have to hurry it up to make the final lap, unless of course they don't want to.
I don't think AR Gamer is going to make that. I think that's his quali session over, to be honest. It's 3 minutes. He's got to get out with 2:40 at the very latest, so he's not making that.
Yeah, and with the pace he's going on right now, that definitely doesn't seem like he's gonna make it. So yeah. So Gamer will be sitting at provisional front row. Equals and Rompostrat will definitely try to take it away from him, but Equals is on an in lap, so Equals has made a lap. Now I can see he's improved a bit. Of course, it's not enough to go for the front row, so it's 0.3 behind Christian. So is Rompostrat gonna go for a final lap? I wonder. Has to. I mean, 3 minutes left, not a lot of time, but if you want to make a time, you gotta do it right now because the time is running out. Arson, who joined the session, has not hit the track yet, and I don't think he will. You can see plenty of drivers heading for the grid, but not Equals. I mean, not Rompostrat, at least not yet. He's still in the pits, and there he goes. Onto the track he goes.
Yeah,
Lepson has retired.
AR's going to try his best, but I think it's going to be too late in the end. Although, well, we'll find out.
Yeah, we're going to see what's going to change after the final round of laps. It's just begun right now in Baku here in Tier 2. Christian is so far still in the lead of the battle for pole position. Gamer sitting at P2 in the pits. Equals, who is coming in after invalidating another lap time, so not going to improve more than that. Rompostrat is, as of right now, one of the favorites to fight for at least the front row, but let's not count out Crystals. He has improved heavily over the past laps, so perhaps there's something more waiting for him if he focuses and delivers even better laps. So let's see what he can pull off. Other than that, it's a bit of a bigger gap between P5 and P6, as there's about half a second worth of gap between Crystals and Cruiser. But then again, Cruiser has so many people right on his back with these small differences, so he's going to have to work on improvement as well. And I can see Christian heading for an outlap, and he's going to make another attempt to improve himself. Well, I'm wondering if this is even possible with 139.6. I mean, he's going to have to go 139.5 in Baku, which of course is possible, but it's going to be amazing to see from him. Our Gamer has retired, and is that in the pit lane?
Yeah.
That is on the track. Yeah, that is on the track, I believe. So he's not going to improve. Yeah, we've known this before, but now we are getting confirmation about that. So now we wait for Christian and Rompostrat, most importantly, to see what they can show us on their final laps here in Baku in a qualifying session for Tier 2, as Christian is now beginning his hot lap.
Yep, into turn 1. He's braking nice and late. Could have maybe pushed it a little further, but of course you've got to make sure you get that good exit. Prioritise exit over entry. Bit of a tap on the wall there, but wouldn't have done any damage. A nice turn in there, nice and late, to get a good straight line speed on the exit. Rompostrat is just a few car lengths behind, so we have to keep an eye on him as well. This is a tricky corner. You've got to make sure that you brake early and don't hit the wall on the inside, and we've already talked about that. We'll make sure you don't lock up, as you have to turn at the same time as braking. Braking just before the 50-meter board, keep it in third. and try and avoid all the curbs except for the outside one, which you can touch just a bit, straight onto the power, braking just as the orange part of the wall comes there and keeping it nice and tight. This, of course, people would have practiced a lot because you've got to get the turning point just correct, but there is quite a lot of margin for error, more than you think there is when you first look at the corner. And this is flat out, as you would assume in these modern F1 cars, braking just before the 100, or as the curb on the right appears, and nice and close at the exit to the advertising boards after the 100 here, and coming down into 4th. You can get on that curb, but you lose a little bit of the traction, which we saw from Christian. I haven't kept an eye on his sector times, but he is purple through sector 2, the game says. Let's keep an eye on Romper Strat as well, as Christian will be the first across the line. See if he can extend his lead any further.
Yeah, Rumpelstrat is improving, not enough to fight for pole, but perhaps a front row. Christian is going to secure that pole with 1:39.2. Amazing lap, but Rumpelstrat is not done yet. Where's he going to go from the P4? He's going to stay there. He must have messed up something in the final sector because he was looking brilliantly after second sector with nice improvement, but that final sector must have went wrong. And he was all out of shape, so now he finishes there. P4 crystals. Can he improve anything more? No, he's going to stay P5. Run Cruiser, who is still on his quick lap. Let's see if he can improve anything from himself. P6 as of right now. Can he go any further? Can he improve? Yes, he does. Goes P5 in that. McLaren Smelto for P8, and I'm pretty sure that is the final laps. Basco invalidated, so yes, that is the wrap of the qualifying session. And Christian remains undefeated, to say the least. 0.5 gap over Gamer, who was second. So Christian was sitting silently so far the first 2 races of the season, but this is looking very, very promising, to say the least, for the last season championship, to second place in championship for Christian. So let's see what he can show us in Baku. At the end of the day, he is the last season Tier 2 winner in Baku, if I'm correct. I remember that well. He won here last season, so definitely has something to show us here today, and we'll see if any of the boys can throw a fight against them. Of course, safety cars will be a huge part of the race, and they will determine a lot. At the end of the day, it's your own abilities and skills that make you go for the win. So we'll see if Christian can use those to become the winner. I can see that with 6 votes in our YouTube survey, we got 66% of votes for 3 to 4 safety cars and 33% for 5 safety cars. So people say it's most likely to have 3 to 4 safety cars, but some people do believe that it will be a full 5 safety cars. So yeah, interesting.
5 tenths is a massive gap, especially with this competitive field. You've got to think that Romperstrat didn't really put in his best lap. He might be closer on pace than these results suggest, but AR Gamer did well to keep that P2 after not being able to put in a 3rd lap. But we'll see in the race. Strategy-wise, I think it's more likely to be, well, it's definitely a one-stop, whether that be soft-medium or soft-hard. Maybe even medium-hard if people are thinking about safety car strategies if they want to go long. But I mean, it doesn't really matter here what you pick, because there will be a safety car and it will bail you out of any situation, basically, in terms of strategy.
Yeah, exactly. Your strategy is going out the window the moment a safety car pops up, and these boys are gonna be showing gonna show each other to us many times often today. So we're gonna have to wait to see how often. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that strategy is not gonna be the most important part of the race, at least in the beginning. Maybe in the later stages when it's gonna be like, okay, I know there's not gonna be any more safety cars, or like this is a final one that can happen. Then you can think about strategy wise. But so far, just have to kind of bet on your luck, or just make gamble and go for a tire you think is the best. But I believe that at the start of the race, any tire could work, even softs. I'm pretty sure some of these guys will try to start on softer compounds just for, gambling that safety car is going to pop up early. So we're going to have a formation lap. So let's take a look at the tire situations. So we've got mediums, hards, much more mediums, and 1 set of softs for Mali, the Mallet Puppy, in the back in P20, but we have a full grid for the race, so that's going to be interesting to say the least. I see Christian starting on harder compound, Gamer from second starting on mediums, but then the Mercedes drivers are both on hard compound, so it's going to be interesting to see who's gonna make the most of these tires and which way is this gonna go when it comes to safety cars and strategy. So yeah, let's see what's gonna happen with that.
Marley, on the softs, he would have a fresh set of softs because he didn't do quali, so yeah, I was surprised. I think there'll be a few, at least 2 or 3 people out of the front runners on the softs, but we'll see how it pans out.
I mean, Marty doesn't have anything to lose at all. I mean, he's gonna start from the back anyway, so the best he can do is just hope for an early safety car, you know, get some positions using those softs, then the safety car comes out and he pits with the rest of the guys, so he's gonna lose basically nothing. He has everything to gain and nothing to lose, so yeah, why not? Let the guy try. We'll see what he can show us in that race. And of course, we're gonna see who's gonna be leading after the turn 1, because we know that Christian is starting from the front. Gamer, he could get him into turn 1 if he makes a better start using these medium tires, which he does have an advantage over Christian as he starts on the harder compound. And we're gonna have to keep our eyes open for the Mercedes boys. What can the current Constructors Championship leaders show us in that race in Baku? Because they, of course, they're P3 and P4, but like I said, Rompostrat can definitely show us much more than he has shown us in the qualifying session. So we're gonna have to wait to find out how much more is he hiding from us, how much more can he show us. But as of right now, let's take a look at the front of the grid as the cars are slowly getting closer to the starting finish line, and let's see who's gonna make the best start. Christian, the race leader, our gamer, who is racing for the championship in P2 in the Drivers' Championship, or perhaps the Mercedes drivers and the current championship leader, Rompostrat, who has so far won 2 races out of the 2 races of the season. Is he gonna pick up a hat trick and win the 3rd one in a row? That would be amazing, but looking at Christian pace, this could be proven difficult here tonight in Baku.
So all the drivers just making their way onto the grid, and quite a short run into turn 1 here from the grid boxes, so not the best overtaking opportunity on lap 1. Probably the first major overtaking opportunity is turn 4 at the end of the back straight. As Marley is the last guy to line up. Okay, so on those hards, Christian AR will want to see if he can put himself ahead into the lead of the race on the faster compound on those mediums. The lights are going to come up. There's 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's lights out and away we go, and AR doesn't get the best start. A bit of wheel spin, but up the inside here is equals as they go around turn 1. Around the outside comes a Mercedes driver. There's also another fight between the McLaren and Mercedes. Further back, Run Cruiser trying to go around the outside of turn 1 of the Rompostrat. This is a really tight corner. They've got to make sure that they can keep it clean, and they do nicely. No incidents so far. Look at all these cars, a whole gaggle of them as Rompostrat on Run Cruiser has to concede the position into this tight left-hand bend, and there's a Ferrari of Crystals there going wide. He's hit the wall. We'll have to see if he has damage, but it is Christian who is at the lead still, and Gula is around at the back, the other Ferrari, so not a good start for the Scuderia. Equals is right on the back of AR Gamer, who's hunting down Christian on those mediums, so as we expect, AR getting the better start, but he could have done a lot better. As he cuts that corner, would have got a warning with his traction. Looks like Crystal does have damage as he's dropping down the field a bit.
Yeah, there was a nice overtake from Naiko. Another yellow flag in the back. This one was caused most likely by a Haas or Avatari driver. Anyway, there's a lot of mayhem in the back going on right now. The top boy seems to be standing still despite Cruiser going up ahead of Rompostrat and now trying to find his way past Equals, but it's going to be proven difficult as of right now. He does have a tire advantage, but he's going to have to pick his best moment, while Gamer is right on the back of Christian, and he's going to be racing him as of right now on the main straight, but there's a lot more fight in the midfield that I'm trying to take a look at. Right now we have a lot of guys going very close to each other. At the moment, Mali has gained at least 6 positions. He's up into P14, trying to get the best of Lepson and his Haas, and he's gonna make sure of it. Up he goes to P13, so Mali just keeps gaining places as Gamer takes the lead of the Baku GP here in Azerbaijan, and Christian goes down to second. Cruiser gets an overtake done on equals, so the guys on mediums prove to be faster. Now the question is, what are McLaren boys gonna do? Cruiser had a bit of scary moment as he was sliding across the corner. Now he's gonna drop a lot compared to his teammate, and Equal's gonna want to use that to overtake him again. No, he's gonna have to wait back for his opportunity to be proven again as we go into the second laps. So far, not many changes up in the front, but there's a lot of potential in that midfield. I can see that Crystals is right there in the sandwich between Nico and Crowley. Both his there was a bit slip up from Nico as he not only goes off the track but also hits the wall a bit, so that's gonna hurt. And now he's down all the way to P10, so Nico drops heavily after that mistake, and now Crowley he can only focus on Crystals, and Crystals gonna have to prove himself faster and pull away before Crowley voice makes a move on a better tire compound.
Yeah, the Mercedes boys are playing the long game as they are switching positions without any drama there. So Rumpelstraat up to P4. Now Crystals is falling back. We'll have to see if he does have damage. He's not pit, so it's not that bad if he does. Run Cruiser is falling back quite a bit, 1.4, 1.5 seconds. It's so important here to have the DRS, just because of how powerful it is on the main straight, and you can tow each other along and catch the car ahead if you play it well with the your rival driver. Let's see then, as Crystals is down to P7 before the straight has even got halfway as AR Gamer crosses
Equals in the pits. Equals in the pits, and you have to wonder, was that because of damage? I mean, has to be.
Yeah, he's changing his wing.
Yep, there we go. So damage for Equals going all the way down to the bottom, so it's going to be a big hit for the Mercedes boys. But of course, including the fact we're going to have probably 3 to 4 safety cars, at least that's what the viewers predict, so there's definitely will be occasion for him to get back. As of right now, his teammate is P4, while Mali is just making his way through the grid as he goes up into P11, already almost up into points. So a great comeback run for the Red Bull driver. Of course, these softs are not going to last forever, but he's making the most of them as they're the most effective right now. So he's going to have to keep pushing until he's going to have to hope for a safety car to pop up. But as of right now, Mali is just gaining position after position, so it's a great run from him. In the meantime, I'm trying to take a look at who's the closest towards each other, and I can see that Lepson is right on the back of Nico. Nico has been struggling a bit in this GP. He was way higher than he is right now. He's down to P12 already, so he must have had some kind of damage after that tiny wall clip, or perhaps he's just all out of shape because he just can't keep his pace to the level where he used to be at the beginning of the race, as Mali closes in on Basco, trying to get close to the range of the DRS to open his rear wing.
Yeah, Naiku lost the rear end there, and he's going to lose out the position without even giving a fight to Lepson. So he's down to P13 and probably lose out to Tipsy as well on this straight. Someone who will definitely lose out before the DRS is even activated is Run Cruiser, because Rumpelstraat had a really good set to 3 and got really close. And AR Gamer extending that lead now to 1 second. And if he can keep it there, that's going to be a tough task for Christian to hold on with the DRS.
Yeah, and Christian's gonna have to try to keep up, because if he can stay in the range of our Gamer's DRS, it's gonna be a blessing for him to just swap positions. But Gamer be able to pull away. Ooh,
Naiku going into the side pod of Lepson, trying to re-overtake him into turn 1. They've done well to keep that on track.
Nico is struggling heavily recently, so he's gonna try to get back there, but he's now P14 under pressure from Skamagas, who is trying to get past the Williams driver, almost going to the back of him.
Run Cruiser.
Just in time.
Okay, false alarm. I thought Run Cruiser was about to make a move up the inside there, just before the castle section.
Yeah, I mean, he's gonna have to do it eventually, using this tire advantage as he's on the mediums, with Rumpelstraat ahead of him being on harder compound. And by the way, Gamer is pulling away nicely. He had about second advantage, worth of advantage a lap ago. Now he's got almost 2 seconds worth of gap. So Gamer is pulling away nicely. He's doing his plan properly. But then again, it's all gonna come down to the fact when the safety car is gonna pop up. The sooner the better for the soft and medium boys. By the way, when it comes to soft boys, Mali is still fighting for the pointing position despite starting all the way in the back. He's already on the back of Keyboard Magnussen, will be overtaking him any moment that he will get a DRS popped open. So Mali is making a good progress. In the meantime, we have still the tight battle between Cruiser and Rompostrat. Oh, a bit of contact there with Cruiser making the move a bit too late, but thankfully both of the boys go clean as Cruiser gets past him down into turn 1, up into P3, and Mali makes a move up into pointing position, up into P10, 10, and he was trying to get the move up into P9 as well. In the meantime, Naiko gets himself into the pits, most likely to fix that damage that he was suffering from. At least that's what we were thinking. No, he's retiring. So that is absolutely not the way Naiko wanted this race to go down, but unfortunately he's retiring due to many issues and mistakes along the way.
Surprising
and
that.
He's going to be out of action.
So this is probably the one track you wouldn't retire at, I would say. But yeah, Rompostrat re-overtaken. And he's keeping up nicely considering he's on those hards, and it'll probably be in around 4 to 5 laps or so. The hards may start to become the faster tyre as the mediums wear out.
Yeah, absolutely, because look at the fact that Gamers just keeps on pulling away from Christian, and the fact that Rumpelstrat can still hold on behind Run Cruiser. That is just a great achievement from him. If he can sit behind him for this comfortable amount of time, that he can definitely overtake him later on, as he's going to get the better tire compound. Of course, that all depends on the amount of safety cars and the frequency of them, but as of right now, Rumpelstrat is doing his absolute best, and the most he can squeeze out of those hearts. He's just doing that properly. Yellow flags in the back. Try and take a look at what's going on. We have Tipsy Bob. Oh, we have Carnage. Absolute Carnage. 3 cars in the wall. What is going on? AlphaTauri going sideways. AlphaTauri of Tipsy Bob with the penalty. Skamagas also picks up a penalty. And we have AlphaTauri with no front wing, no safety car, not even the VSC called out. But there's a lot of mayhem.
Oh, no!
14, another wall hit, and now Eagle's trying to get mixed up in this. What is going on in that midfield as Skamagas is leading that big train of cars who are fighting each other? Keyboard Magnussen, he goes into the pits, while in the meantime Equals is trying to get ahead of Lepson down into turn 1. Is he gonna do it? Not quite yet. He's still not there in Lepson. He's gonna be leading Equals, but he's gonna try to win his position back. No, Ferrari now bounces off the
and
wall.
now Giannis is off ahead. Yeah, Giannis was off ahead. Rompostrat got back past Run Cruiser during all that drama, and same with Smelto on Crawley Voice. But yeah, Tipsy like sideways on the track there, and this from Equals is not what he wanted, because he was at the top, he had damage, he had to pit, and he's found himself in all this traffic and not knowing what to do at the moment. But he's ahead now, and he's got a 6-second gap that he wants to close up as quick as possible.
Yeah, absolutely. A lot of things going on right now in the midfield. I can see these boys going at it. Yellow flag. Mali has retired
on track. It's in the castle.
Safety car.
Yeah, in the castle section, you can see his car there, and
yeah, exactly.
Well, I think Basco just ploughed straight into him, but thankfully he ghosted. Although there was a bit of carbon fibre flinging in the air.
Full safety car deployed. This would have been great for Mali if it wasn't for the fact he's the one causing it. So yeah,
AR has to pit, doesn't he? Yeah, he does. So the medium runners have got to pit. You can go to the end here on hards.
Dice gets a penalty for speeding in the pit lane, I believe. No, he was given a drive-through. For what? For speeding under the safety car, I guess?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, that did happen. So Christian, he's staying out. Rompostrat staying out. Basically, almost everybody on hard stayed out. Gamer, he's gonna be right behind Crystals, despite the fact he was almost side by side for a moment with him. But at the end of the day, he's gonna be right behind him. Cruiser, fresh hearts, Smelto, and Crowley, fresh hearts. So these guys are gonna have wonderful time. Of course, under the condition, there's not gonna be more safety cars, but we can guess already there's probably gonna be plenty of them left to go, as we are on lap 7 already in this Grand Prix. Plenty of laps ahead of us, so let's see who's gonna make the most of it. And so it's Christian still leading with Rumpelstrat now being second. Crystals goes up into P3. Gamer goes down to P4. A lot of position shifts in the midfield. And Giannis is going to be the second man to be on the fresh mediums. Much on P17 is the second one, but Giannis is the only driver in the pointing position as of right now to be having fresh mediums. So he's going to have a lot of potential. After that restart, he could benefit a lot heavily from that, of course, including the fact he's going to have one more safety car to switch those mediums because he's not going to last them to the finish line as they are fresh right now. So he's going to have plenty of hope to be holding on to. Call
Yeah.
up for the second safety car.
Yeah, these guys from AR Gamer down to Crawley who have gone to Fresh Hearts will, in theory, be going to the end, but of course it could all change with another safety car or 4. And yeah, Christian through Crystals. They'll have similar pace to those on the new tyres. The hards don't degrade much at all around here, so not a large delta between those two. Two different strategies at the moment. It'll just be interesting to see if there will be another safety car to bail out Christian.
Ooh, Ferrari in the wall. Under the safety car, Gurla, who just made a mistake. He was P8. He went sideways, clipped the wall a bit, and now he's down all the way to P10. I wonder, does he have damage? Because he was standing sideways just like Tipsy Bob was a couple of laps ago. Unfortunately, a mistake under the safety car for the Scuderia driver. Now, is he gonna make his way into the pits, or was that avoidable? Didn't he hit the wall? See what's gonna happen. Going slower than we thought it's gonna go, and he's staying out. So perhaps there's no damage, but he still dropped at least 2 positions. So that's a shame for him. And yeah, he's on 7-lap all hard, so it's not gonna have a good time after the restart. So yeah, it's a shame for him. And the match is entering the pits as of right now, despite being on 2-lap old mediums. And you have to wonder, why is that? There is no damage, no front wing being changed. He just put on fresh soft sets of mediums again. You have to wonder why.
Fair enough. He's not going to lose a position, he's just going to get fresher tyres, isn't he? So
yeah, absolutely. So yeah, we're still waiting for the restart. Most likely in this lap, if the whole grid comes together, should be... Oh, there's some session mistakes, if I'm correct, because I just saw a lot of people shifting positions. There is Christian ahead of safety car. What the... Look at this. Are you seeing this? They're overtaking the safety car. What's going on?
Yes.
Everybody's overtaking the safety car.
That's interesting.
What is going on? And that is most likely a game glitch. And now we have to wonder, is this going to call
now
for a
AR
lobby
Gamer
restart?
goes over.
Everybody goes over. Look
Yeah.
at the pace of the safety car. He's standing there. I have never seen anything like this. He's just
given up.
He's just given up. The driver was like, "Nah, I'm out."
Now
He just walked
Dice.
out of there.
Dice is
Everybody's
sorry, Tipsy's unsure, but he overtakes eventually. So it'd be interesting to see when Dice goes, whether the safety car will start
Now
going
what?
again.
Do we just go another round, or is he just gonna move?
Yeah, I
mean, if
don't
he's
know.
not gonna move, it's gonna have to be restarted. Is he gonna move after Dice? Dice is just standing there.
Dice isn't
Come on,
sure
make a
what's
move.
going on.
Okay, he moves. Now let's see at the minimap. Is it gonna move itself, or is it just gonna stay there?
No, I imagine it
staying
will
there.
stay there until it picks up the leaders again, if that's what it's doing. I don't know why, but
Now let's just hope he's gonna move after Christian gets close to him, because if it's not, there's gonna be a call for a session restart. And we've been like 9 laps deep, 2 drivers DNF'd, so it's gonna be a bit of carnage, like not the type of carnage we like on the track, but off the track carnage when it comes to the session lobby. Yeah, that is quite the glitch I have never seen before. Safety car just parking in the middle of the street. So then you learn something with every day. I mean, it's a nice experience, but then again, what the hell? What are we gonna do now? I mean,
the game that
hopefully
keeps
it's
on
gonna go
giving.
green.
Christian
Hopefully
wouldn't
just
mind this.
get out of the way.
Just do
I
the rest of the
mean,
race like
surely.
this.
Surely, but I'm pretty sure the FIA is not gonna allow something like this to happen. I mean, have you seen anything quite like this before? Just safety car just parking
No.
there.
No.
Absolutely ridiculous. And
Right,
let's see what's
gonna
gonna happen.
Come on then. Speed up, please.
There we go.
Yay! Well done.
That is
I
the
don't
most
know why it
ridiculous
did that.
glitch.
It just
That
thought
was the
about
most
having some fun.
ridiculous glitch.
Let's hope it
Holy
comes in
moly.
properly now.
that looks like a payoff. Like they just paid the safety car driver, just come on, mate, give us one more lap, and
Yeah,
fix
yeah.
the wing.
Or not in the
You're gonna
safety
get the
car.
paycheck later on. I mean, what was that? So yeah, we got extra lap of safety car for free. Definitely the leader of the strain of the GP, Christian, is not gonna mind that at all. But then again, what the hell was that? Anyway,
Well, we're
it's
going to have
still
another
not
2
in
laps
this lap.
then.
Yeah.
Imagine if it restarted its thing.
I mean, I just hope that he's not gonna do the same thing in this lap. Because
Yeah,
technically he
yeah.
could, but I just hope he's just gonna keep on going.
Uh,
Oh my goodness me.
this is why we should
And
have
when-
real safety car drivers.
Yeah.
Someone should drive the safety car in the lobby.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, the fact that the safety car is a Mercedes, and Mercedes is just so comfortable with the P2 as of right now is also ridiculous. But yeah, I mean, that is insane. We have a huge split, by the way, in between positions from all the way of Crowley Voice P7 down to Gianni's P8, 4 seconds behind. So these guys are gonna have to get caught up to the rest of the grid to make the restart count. Well, let's see if that AMG is gonna stop himself in the middle of the track again, or is he gonna continue to go down the castle section this time?
The thing
Maybe he
is,
saw the castle crash and he was just like, nah, I'm not gonna risk it today.
it went green, the lights on the safety car, which means you can overtake. So it wasn't a glitch in the sense of it just stopped.
Yeah.
You were allowed to overtake it because obviously no one got disqualified. So I don't know what's
But
going
then
on.
again, why?
Yeah, I don't know why.
Absolutely ridiculous. So let's see what's gonna happen. Hopefully it's just gonna keep on going. Because if it's gonna happen again, they're gonna have to restart the lobby surely. You can't just hope for it to keep going on like that. Come on, you got this, buddy. Just keep going, keep going, keep going. There you go.
Whee! Now we hope that it just comes in. It doesn't keep driving around for the whole race.
Exactly. Exactly. This could be the case. Hopefully not. We want to see some action going on, as we should be going in this lap. So usually the notification is about the final corner before heading to the main straight, somewhere around here. So we should be getting that notification any moment now that it's going to be in this lap. Let's give it a moment. Should be somewhere around here that we get info about safety car coming in. Let's wait and see. There he goes in this lap. Hopefully it's gonna be actually in this lap, but
a glitch that didn't cause any issues.
Yeah, exactly. So Christian is restarting on older hard sets. I mean, now they're 9 laps old, with some of these laps being other safety cars, so they should be fine. Rompostrat restarting right behind him, and then Crystals, and then everybody from Gamer on the fresh set of hearts. So let's see what they can do, and when is Christian gonna restart? Is he gonna start early? Is he gonna start late? We're gonna find out in a moment, as we are still waiting for him to go fully deep on the Farley. Still waiting, slithering, trying to force his opponents to lose attention, and let's see if he's gonna succeed at it.
He's going to wait a long time. I reckon he's going to go on the
he's
line.
going to try to catch them sleeping for a while. He's going to try to make them lose their attention on him. Yeah, warming up the tires. Why not? Come on, left, right, left, right. Everybody else just going in a long straight line and no shifting to the left or to the right.
He's got to be careful here, Christian, because if he leaves it too late, there you go.
There he goes. There he goes, and he's done that, not perfectly, but just good enough. And
AR up the inside, yeah.
P3, that is because of the yellow flag, I don't know how. And there goes Basco as well. So, Christian was able to hold on to his lead while Gamer's making some moves. Cruiser goes back up ahead of Crystals. There was a bit of mishap between these two, but they're going on as Crystals and Cruiser now dropped over a second behind Gamer and Rompostrat and Christian, who are trying to pull away, with Gamer trying to make the move. Oh, that was a mistake from Rompostrat, and that's going to put up Gamer up into P2, using that mistake nicely for himself, and now he's going to hunt down Christian. I don't think Christian can do much about it. On these older set of tires, he's not going to be able to make a gap over Gamer. All he can do is just try to hold on ahead of him as long as possible, then hold on behind him for as long as possible. Another yellow flags in the back. This time it was caused by Tipsy Bob again. It's another time the AlphaTauri is going sideways, so it's not the best of race. The AlphaTauri boys, as they're all the way in the back.
Rompo's Strat has hit the wall at the castle section. I can't see any damage on his front wing, but he's definitely lost a lot of time, and he's going to be overtaken here. Maybe up the inside, and he's shut the door on him. He hasn't left him any space there. That could have been a whole different outcome if Run Cruiser wasn't aware to it. But it's given 2.6 seconds as the gap between AR and Rumpelstrat and the rest of the field now.
Yeah, Rumpelstrat just gave a nice gift to Gamer and Christian as he basically made their race to be to the finish line for the win. Of course, under the condition there will be no more safety cars, then they will have a huge advantage. And of course, Christian is in the worst spot because Gamer can go to the finish line on these fresh tires. I don't think Christian can, so Gamer is in a perfect situation as of right now.
Comes into the pits, so he did have front wing damage. Yeah, Christian can't go to the end because he started on these tyres, so obviously he'd be disqualified if he did. Giannis has made good progress on these mediums up to P6 now.
Yeah, he's using the most of them, but eventually he's going to run out of cars to get DRS from, because we can see that right now Cruiser is the one leading that huge train, and he's going to have to watch over his shoulder as Crystals is trying to sneak his way through. But then again, he has to watch over for Smelto, who was he could be making a move, but he backed it up for now, doesn't want to make too much of a commotion. Yellow flag in the back, I can see 2 cars.
Oh yeah, that's a huge.
Sideways, that's Keyboard Magnussen and Gurla. Both going out. Magnussen going out heavily as he's down to the very bottom. Rumpelstrat's going to make a move on him. So,
oh, up the inside goes Giannis on the mediums, trying to get into the top 5. He overtakes Crystals. Crystals is definitely not going to send it up the inside there. That is a death sentence, if ever I saw one. And Giannis up to P5. He's making good progress, and he's in a great position here.
Yep, he's doing his absolute best. Cruiser, who just pulled away from Smelto enough to not give him the DRS, and he's now going to try to get close towards Christian and Gamer. Gamer is making the most of these fresh hearts as he's now pulling away from Christian by over 2 seconds already. Gamer is having a wonderful race so far, of course, not only due to a safety car that gave him advantage, but also due to his pace, which is absolutely great so far in this GP. Cruiser trying to close up on his teammate. Smelto trying to grab that DRS from Cruiser while Giannis is keeping up to him. Equals gets himself ahead up into P6, but now Crystals is coming right behind him with Crowley Voice as well. Crowley Voice and Lapson is in the mix, so it's going to be a bit of position swaps. Crystals going into the pits actually right now, so it's going to back it up for now. And I have to wonder, was that a planned pit stop? 12 lap old hearts could be. Doesn't have to be necessarily damaged, so perhaps it was just shifting tires. Now it's going to be Crowley Voice trying to get the best of the Mercedes driver as he gets the DRS wide open. He's going to go down the inside. No, he's going to back it up for now, and he's going to have to wait for a better situation.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that from Crystals. I don't think it was planned. He was on fresh mediums. He's going on to fresh mediums again, so he must have been damaged. He thinks he can get into the end from here, probably. Rumpelstrat making his way back up the field, trying to recover.
It's a bit of mistakes, so yeah, Ferrari boys are definitely not happy about this GP as Rumpelstrat makes a move up into P14.
And look at the lead from AR Gamer, 3.5 seconds. And Christian still has to pit, remember, and the next person down who still has to pit is Larson, who's all the way down in P11. So he's not in the best position here, Christian. He will definitely want another safety car. Otherwise, this race is going to be over pretty quickly.
Yeah, and surprisingly, we are already half of the race deep, and we only got 1 safety car so far. So that could be potentially a very small amount of safety cars in this GP. Of course, if no more, Jesus Christ, I'm running out of English for today. No more safety cars will pop up as Cruiser is getting closer towards Christian, and you have to wonder, is Christian just that much slower due to a tire disadvantage, or is actually they're trying to help each other out, because now Cruiser will get a DRS. He can also overtake Christian and lift him with his own DRS, while he is of course quicker due to a tire advantage. So McLaren boys can work this out team-wise very nice. So let's see what they can do with Smelto. He's gonna have to use that situation because McLaren boys will lose a bit of time working together getting ahead of each other, but he can't do that yet because Giannis goes up into P4 on these mediums, making the absolute best of them as he moves up against the Alfa Romeo driver, and he's in a nice spot trying to get close to McLaren's, but McLaren's are pulling away, and so far Cruiser is not going ahead. Yellow flags in Sector 1 caused by AlphaTauri in the back, and I'm trying to think why are not letting each other through. Magnussen retires in the pit lane, and I have to wonder, is Cruiser just not being allowed to get through of Christian, or are they just waiting for a better situation? Because surely Cruiser ahead of Christian will be a more effective way to go this GP, as our gamer is just pulling away from Cruiser, who is faster than
Yeah.
Christian. He's already built a gap over 5 seconds.
And you got Janice, who's closing in on much better tyres as well. This is hurting both of the McLaren races. This is the perfect time for a team order down on this start-finish straight. See if Run Cruiser can put any pressure on AR Gamer.
Yeah, I mean, at this point, and Dice also retires in the pit lane. At this point, there's nothing that Christian can do, even if he wanted to hold back Cruiser. Cruiser is just going to overtake him right down the main straight. So here he goes up into P2, but he wasted a hell lot of time, 6 seconds behind Gamer and Giannis, being 1.9 seconds. Of course, he didn't have a DRS down that long straight as of right now. Smelto did, but couldn't use it fully to get ahead of Aston Martin driver, who just bounced off the wall, I believe, due to this ghost figure. So a huge mistake from Giannis as of right now, and you have to wonder, was there any damage on him? Rompostrat makes the fastest lap as he's going through from P14, trying to make the most of Tipsy Bob. Tipsy Bob just got out of his way, and Rompostrat is up into P14.
Yeah, keep an eye on that gap from AR Game and see if Run Cruiser can make any inroads on that, as Smelto now goes wide, and that gives Crawley Boys a little bit of a sniff. And Equals is doing well from having the damage early on in the race. He's back up to P7 on these hard tyres, and he's looking at a decent finish considering the things he's had to go through in this race so far.
Yeah, Christian is trying to hold on towards Cruiser, but at this point Cruiser should not even think about that. He should just focus on himself and trying to get that podium. Skamagas retires on the track. That's going to be a full SC for the second time today. That's going to be a life-saving moment for McLaren's, as Christian was just running out of pace.
Absolutely, and the Christian is going to go on to the mediums here. Maybe he might risk the softs. I wouldn't. After my experience yesterday, they tend to go off around lap 5 and then they're sort of undrivable. AR is... well, I don't know what... he might pit. He is going to pit.
He's going to have to pit. If he stays out, he's just going to end up like Christian did just right now. Without a third safety car, he would be doomed to fail, so he's going to have to stop right now. There goes Cruiser. Christian, of course, we're going to come into the pits as well.
And Christian's going to be double stack, isn't it? So
yeah, I mean, is it going to be that much of a slower pit stop? Let's see. As Cruiser goes away. No, it's going to be a clean one. We're going to make it faster at McLaren. Comes Christian.
All onto the mediums.
Coming in from P3. And where's he going to come out? Also P3 for Christian, just ahead of Smelto. Everybody onto the fresh mediums. Larson, also fresh mediums. So yeah, everybody's going for fresh mediums, and we have already lost 5 drivers tonight, and we're only 16 laps into the race. We still got 10 more to go, so that is interesting to see. How much more can we go on, and how many drivers will actually finish the GP at the end of the day? I'm wondering how many of those will get to the finish line. So yeah, Gamer will now be restarting the GP after a couple of laps, and let's just hope the safety car driver will actually make it around the castle section this time. I'm just curious to see what he's gonna do. He's gonna park again. Is he gonna go for the castle section? Let's see it. There he goes. They must have switched the drivers in the meantime as the guys were racing. They were just like, okay, get out of here. Fired on the spot. Get someone new in there and just shifted them. As we are going with Gamer, who is now the leader of GP. Cruiser, who made a nice drive up into P2. Christian, who was down to P3, but still has a pace. Now they will be all on equal terms. It would be great to see them go into the finish line as they are standing right now, because this could be a nice fight of showing off their skills. But of course, the late safety car could shift up everything in any direction. So this is going to be interesting one way or another. And we're going to see what's going to happen. Let's see how many positions has the drivers picked up or lost in this GP so far, with the best results being so far much. He has gained 9 places and he's already up in points, while the biggest unfortunates were Rumpelstrat, who is so far P8, P12, sorry, he lost 8 positions, but then again he's gonna have a chance to get back in there, and Crystals, who dropped 8 places and is now P14. So we're gonna compare that to the final standings, of course. And fun fact, Equals has already done 3 pit stops, so did Much, and I think they're the only drivers to do 3 pit stops so far. Everybody else has done 2. So these guys are the only one who made 3 pit stops. When it comes to fastest lap, Rumpelstrat is still the owner of that on the fresh mediums. And let's see, what else can we see in here. Tire situation is known to us. No penalties, at least for the guys who are racing, because there were plenty of penalties, but the guys who had them are not racing anymore or just completed them in the pit stops. So yeah, I'm pretty sure Gurla is gonna get caught up to the rest of the grid on this lap, so it's most likely gonna be in this lap or next lap at most. Melto, nice P4 from him. Crowley Boys climbing that P5. Mercedes were seemingly in a very good spot in the beginning. Then Rumpelstrat has had a situation where he's down to P12 now. His teammate P6, so it's not the best race for the Mercedes guys so far, but McLaren are making the most of it. P2 and P3 so far, while Gamer is trying to hold on and give those points to Red Bull. As Mali retired early on, he's still trying to make the absolute best of this GP and pick up as many points as possible. Both Alfa Romeos in the points as well, with Smelto P4 and Basco P9. Lepson climbed up to P7, Giannis is P8, so plenty of drivers in the points. And Alpine also have 2 drivers in the points, with Crowley being P5 and Much being P10.
Yep, and it might be a safety car in this lap. It will be a late call, and it is, as we're going to get racing again. It will be a 10-lap shootout. Everyone on equal tyres, 1 lap old mediums. And AR Gamer is in control once again. Although, no, it was Christian who did the restart last time, didn't he? So who knows what AR Gamer is going to do. But of course he has to wait for the safety car to be back in the pit lane first.
He could do the complete opposite and just start as early as possibly, or he could do just like Christian, start as late as possible, or perhaps something in the middle. We don't know what he's gonna show us, so let's keep our eyes open for the race leader, AR Gamer. What is he gonna show us? 17 laps into the GP. It's gonna be beginning of lap number 18 out of 26 here in Azerbaijan, in Baku. So let's see what's Gamer gonna do. Still going slowly.
He's gonna go under this green Rolex bridge.
Yeah. And
hey! Look at that.
There he goes, just
what a
like
prediction. Look, Crawley Voice on the inside of Smelter already looking to make up place into P4. He's had a good run and he's braked nicely. That's a really good move and great car control from the Alpine driver for the only move on the turn 1 at the restart. Further down, we've got Basco and Giannis who are battling it out. Giannis goes a bit wide and Basco gets that move done into turn 2. Yep, into turn 3 at the top of the hill. Not the hill, the straight.
Ooh, I just saw Much scraping the wall. It's gonna cause him to not only drop position, but most likely lose a bit of pace. There might be some front wing damage as Rumpelstrat uses that to make himself move up into P10, the pointing position. And now Rumpelstrat knows he has to pass Giannis as soon as possible, but he's nowhere in the spot to do so, not in here, unless he want to risk it all. I mean, he can't even do that at this point. He's gonna have to wait back. And Gamer is pulling away nicely, 1.2 of gap already ahead of Cruiser, who is now trying to stay close to him, trying to decrease the gap, but doing all he can. Christian sitting behind his teammates so far, so it's good for him. While Equals is trying to make a move on Smelto, very close to the wall, but he was doing that clean as well. Crowley Voice went a bit too much on the inside, and now Crowley Voice is going to be under pressure from both Smelto and Equals, who will have a slipstream on him, and he's going to be under pressure from two drivers. Let's see if they're going to make an overtake down into turn 1. Smelto, oh, I just realized that Crowley Voice has almost no ERS whatsoever, 30% from him, 20%, while the guys behind him have about 70%. So Crowley Voice is doing everything he can to hold on to that P4, but he can't do much in a minute.
Yeah, Much up the inside. We're going 3 wide into turn 1. It's Crystals who's on the inside of Much now. Romperstrat has managed to hold on and keep himself out of that battle. Crystals is down to P11 and Janice down to P12 now.
Yeah, nice moves from him as Much gets back into the pointing position, but then again Crystals wants all the smoke. He's not going to let him go clean. And let's see what's going to happen. Crystals clipped that wall with his back wheel going sideways. So Ferrari guys are struggling again, as our gamer says, the fastest sector, and Cruiser and Christian still trying to hold on to him. I'm pretty sure McLaren boys are a bit confused as of right now who is quicker, and they don't know what to do exactly. No matter what they try, Gamer is still pulling away, and I can't do much, to be honest. 1.4 of gap for Gamer. Christian and Cruiser trying to stick up to him. Lepson gets a free second time penalty for track limit violation. Trying to take a look at the closest fight passable. Giannis is closing up on his opponent, but also Equals is right behind Smelto, and I'm pretty sure that with the DRS open, Equals will make a move on Smelto. Ooh, he broke just before the Alfa Romeo, and let's see what's the Mercedes driver gonna do onto the main straight. He could get Smelto. Crowley Voice will not have DRS, so perhaps there's an overtake opportunity to make up 2 positions on the one main straight. In the meantime, Cruiser and Christian swap positions. Christian is now P2, so we're gonna try to hunt down our gamer, and Equals does make a move up all the way to P4, so it's a double overtake for the Mercedes driver.
Yep, Christian getting past Run Cruise, as you said, and McLaren swapping position. And 1.2 seconds is the gap now to AR Gamers. DRS has been activated, so they'll try and get within that 2/10 gap to close in even further on AR Gamer. Once you have the DRS, you can relax on your pace a bit, because that obviously gives you the extra few tenths. Romperstrat up to P8 now. He's making a good recovery. Both of these Mercedes drivers are having good recovery drives.
Yeah, exactly. They're doing all their best to get back and bring home as many points as possible. Remember where Romperstrat was at some point. He was all the way in the back after that pit stop, and he's now climbed to some points. Not so much solid points yet, but he's doing his best. At the moment, he would finish P7 if he were to finish just like that due to Lepson's penalty. Then again, I'm pretty sure he's not going to give it up on P7. He's going to try to fight for more, but then again, he has Basco right behind him, so he's going to have to be careful about that as they're going very close to each other. Janice, he's still in the fight for points against Much. He's only 0.6 behind him, so he's definitely gonna have a DRS. At the DRS zone, he's gonna try to make this best of it. And looking at the fact that Much doesn't even have an ERS anymore, while Janice has about 50% of battery, so Janice is still pretty much in the fight for the points. And I can see that Christian is pulling away from Cruiser heavily. He's already about second ahead, so these guys are going to have to work together with DRS to get the best of Gamer, but if Cruiser is not going to have enough pace, they're not going to catch him, while Christian delivers the fastest lap of the race so far, and he's getting heavily closer towards Gamer, and he has a bit more battery, so there's a lot of potential in Christian to catch Gamer, but he's going to have to focus all the way to the end with 5 laps to go. And a yellow flag, and Christian retires.
Another safety car! Woo!
Third safety car, and that will be a very, very late safety car, because we're gonna have what, 2 to 3 laps of racing after the restart.
Yeah,
so
big decision.
This times.
Well,
or staying out.
I don't know, because 2 laps left after the safety car comes in. Is it worth it? I don't know.
Yeah, that depends.
This decision will probably decide who wins this race.
Yeah, because I mean, the guys in the back surely will go for softs. They have nothing to lose. The guys in the front will most likely stay out. They have too much to lose on the other hand. But then again, it's all about the boys, the midfield. I know from the races I watched before that the guys from positions somewhere around P5, 6, 7, if they go for softs right now, they can make the most of it because the guys from the back, they can get like a couple of places. The guys from the front will lose much more than they can gain. Guys from the midfield, they can gain a lot. Looking at the fact that the guys behind them will pit and the guys ahead of them won't. So they will have a lot of opportunity in this situation, of course, if they decide to go for a pit stop, because technically everybody could just stay out and hope for the best. Let's see what's going to happen as they hit the main straight. Which one of these guys is going to come into the pits? Gamer, Christian, Cruiser, Equals, Smelto, Crowley, Lepsin, Rumpostad, Tabasco, and Much. These are so far the pointing position drivers, with 14 drivers left in this GP. We started with 20, so we've lost plenty of drivers so far. It's a third safety car of the race, by the way. If that wouldn't
This
have
is
been...
a bait from AI. He's not going in, is he? No, he's not. There you go. They're all staying out.
Yeah,
I could read it a mile off.
It's not worth it. So let's see if anybody's going to
Crawley.
make a call. There he is. Crowley coming in from the midfield. So is Lepsin. Much. And basically everybody from the back, because here comes Giannis as well. Larson stays out. But Gurla and Tipsy Bob come in as well. So Larson's going to go all the way to P8. So in the best situation as of right now will be Crowley Voice. His P9 still in the points. And on these fresh softs, he's going to have an overtake possibility to gain. He has a potential to overtake at least 3 drivers as of right now, perhaps even more, because these tires will give him a huge advantage after the restart. And it's not going to be a pretty much long safety car, because you can see that even at the end of the lap, everybody should be lined up perfectly. So it's going to be 1 to 2 laps of safety car at the most. So it's going to be plenty of racing remaining for the guys on fresh softs to make up what they have lost under that pit stop. So this is going to be very interesting to see what's going to happen comparing those fresh softs and used mediums.
Yeah, AI will want a safety car restart to go just how it did in the one before. He's gaining a good gap. But now with Christian ahead of Run Cruiser, he seems to have a bit better pace. It might be a bit more difficult to build the gap. So it might be in this lap, although it could very well stay out another.
We have Alpine going sideways. We have Alpine going sideways. Much, who has went out, not even in the castle section, but the corner before that, he has gone off sideways and he's gone all the way down to P14. So that is a shame for Much, as he was in a pretty good spot to fight for something more. Now he's going to be all the way in the back. Of course, he still has potential for something, but it's going to be very difficult to get close up, and we can't restart the race without him being closed up. So it's going to be one more lap of safety car. So it's going to be lap 23 right now. It's going to be off at lap 24. So it's going to be 24, 5 and 6. So it's 3 laps of racing remaining. At least it should be 3 laps of racing remaining. And we're going to see who's going to make the most of it. 3 laps is not a lot to use these fresh softs. But if you're a man like Crowley sitting at P9, you could gain a lot. Of course, if you are good at overtaking, because there's plenty of space in here that doesn't allow you to overtake. So tight corners. Much is coming in the pits, most likely due to a front wing damage, or perhaps just wants to have fresh softs. Then again, I hope it's not going to delay the restart, because that would mean we're going to have only 2 laps of racing. That would hurt a lot of guys on fresh softs who are just eager to go racing again.
Yeah, so a great opportunity for the 2 Mercedes guys to get up onto the podium here as well, after some mistakes that they've made, which has found them further back. AR Gamer has been fantastic today. He's led from lap 2, I think it was, all the way until lap 23. But when it matters is lap 26. Can he still be leading the race when he crosses the line? And,
yeah, exactly.
He's going to get a fair few points over Romperstrat in this championship standings if he does that. And that will spice things up nicely as we head to Silverstone next week.
Yeah, exactly. So we just can't wait to see what's going to happen there in the UK. But so far, let's see how is this going to end. here in Baku, as we should be getting safety car in this lap. And let's see how is this GP gonna end. We have half of the grid basically on mediums and the other half on softs. So let's see which strategy is gonna be better, the old mediums or fresh softs, and who's gonna win the battle for the win for the podium, as it should be equal. They're all from the top are on the same set of tires, about the same amount of battery as well for everybody. So let's see who's gonna make the most of it. Safety car is indeed in this lap, and our gamer will be restarting this GP for the third time, I believe, today. So let's see which way is he gonna approach it this time. He was doing it a bit early. As of right now,
Prediction.
maybe now he'll try to make it later.
This time I'm predicting he's going to do it as quick as possible.
Could be. I mean, he has to wait for the safety car to at least get close to the pit stop entrance, so he won't get slowed down by the game.
Under the guitar sign. Here we go.
So there's the guitar sign.
No.
And this time.
It would have been a hat trick of predictions.
Yeah, exactly. So let's see, where is he gonna start us off? Maybe the Rolex again? Could be.
The double bluff.
If he would restart the same spot, it would be interesting. Still halfway on the throttle. There's the Rolex advertisement. And there he goes. Again, the same maneuver. But this time, Christian was able to get close to him. He's not going to have this much of a gap after that straight. So here we go. About 3 laps of race remaining. As here we go. Crowley Voice makes his first move up into P8 ahead of Larson as he starts making those positions from these fresh softs. And there they go. Larson struggling to survive in P10 as he goes down to P10 from P9 against Giannis and Lepson. So the soft runners are just warming up right now. Crowley Voice is trying to make up into P7, but Basco doesn't allow him for now as he's gonna put him under pressure.
Oh!
Again, Larson goes.
Oh,
no! Pandemonium in the back.
Yeah,
Both
Giannis.
cars are spinning. Giannis as well. Oh my goodness.
Oh, and Tipsy's off as well on the softs.
Tipsy's as well. So almost everybody in the back from P10 down below are spinning or going off. Match has also lost a bit of time, so the only driver on fresh softs who is still racing the guys on mediums is Crowley Voice. So it seems that the guys who were running on fresh softs, they were trying to make the best against the guys on mediums, but they took out each other. So now Crowley Voice is the only man on fresh softs close enough to make a fight against the guys on the mediums. In the meantime, not many position swaps in the front. They're still going in the same direction. So I'm going to try to stick with Crowley to see if he can make any moves on these fresh softs. I mean, let's be honest, he should be. If he wants to make the strategy work, he's running out of time. He should make the most of these softs any moment now. As he's getting closer towards Basco, he's surely going to get him onto the main straight. And then he's going to head towards Rompostrat, who is still sitting at P6.
Yeah, Christian has an opportunity to make an overtake here too. In fact, I think he is going to go up the inside for the lead of the race. The McLaren driver, can he retake it? It's the first time he's found himself in the lead since the second lap of the race, and he'll want to hold on to that. But our gamer knows there is another long straight coming up, and DRS on the final lap of the race where he can remake the overtake, as Crawley Voice does get up to P7 as well.
Yeah, Crowley Voice is trying to hunt these guys on these mediums, but I don't think he's going to have enough time to fight for, well, the win for sure, but at least for the podium it's going to be difficult. He has Smelto, but Rompostrat equals ahead of him to even get close to the podium, boys, while the top 3 are going at it. But Christian's having a very good pace as of right now. It's still leading, trying to build a gap over our Gamer, using a bit of that battery, being at 50% as of right now. Gamer's got 60 in the tank. Cruiser as again 50 and equals. He's right behind these guys. We don't talk about it much as of right now, but he's got the most amount of battery in his tank, so he could be a dangerous player and challenger for the win as well. We'll have to keep our eyes open for that as well. Let's see where Crowley Voice is. Oh, he's had some kind of mistake, definitely, because he dropped heavily compared to Smelto. He was right on the back of Smelto, and now he's already at least 0.9 behind him, so that is a huge step back for the soft runner, as the match also got closer towards his teammates. So let's see where these guys are gonna end up later on. As of right now, not many position swaps, but a lot of position fight as we head into the final lap of this GP. And Christian still leading, burning the whole of his battery. So is Gamer doing that. So is Cruiser. Everybody is using this battery to the full. DRS enable. One more lap to go.
Yeah, crucial lap for AR Gamer. And the two Mercedes guys as well will want to get up, as Smelter has had an issue there. He's off track. The yellow flags for him. But DRS now for AR Gamer, although he is 5/10 behind. Run Cruiser is a second behind him. He doesn't really have a chance. But you never know what can happen at Baku. In the last lap even, still a couple of difficult corners to go. And the win is all but sealed for Christian. He just has to keep it clean. And on the final lap, coming up to the line, because the start-finish line is so far down the straight, he has a chance of being overtaken on the line. It could be a photo finish here, so keep your eyes peeled.
Yeah, not only that, but also Equals, who's going to race for the podium as well. Look at how close he is to Run Cruiser. So it's going to be a possible photo finish between P1, P2, and P3 and P4. So that is going to be interesting to see. So let's see who's going to make the most of it. Smelto, he has left the session after going sideways, but it's not going to cause a safety car, of course, anymore. So as we enter almost the final line of this Grand Prix, is Christian going to hold on? Could Gamer get him down to the final finish line? Tipsy Bob has retired from the race as he's crashed, most likely. Here they go, down to the final straight. Christian is still leading. Gamer is trying to hunt him down. Can he make the most of it? Equals is basically side by side with Cruiser. Christian, I think, is gonna hold on to it. Here comes our Gamer. No, it's Christian who wins the GP, and Equals snatches podium for Mercedes. It's a P3 for him. Cruiser P4, Much up into P5. Rumpelstraat P6, then Crowley Voice, Bas collapse, and Gurla makes his way up into the points, and only 12 drivers finish the Baku Grand Prix here in Azerbaijan.
Yeah, same as yesterday, 12 finishers. That was an exciting final lap, and just by a couple of meters, Christian gets his first win of the season. But good points for AR Gamer in the standings over his rival at Mercedes. His Rumpelstraat, I believe, finished P5 in the end. Or may have been 4th. Oh, it was 6th as well. So, great drive by Christian. Pole to flag. And AR Gamer 2 did well. Just missing out. Equals, for me, is the driver of the day. Although, Much went from 19th to 5th.
I was about to say, Much almost all the way from the back up into P5. I mean, it is comparable because, I mean, come on, 19 to P5. Those are solid points, seeing at where he started and all these safety cars. So this could be a bit of argument, but yeah, then again, both drivers performed wonderfully. So yeah, that's gonna be the race done for this week's Tier 2 Season 14 challenges. Let's see if we're gonna have anybody who's gonna have to share his thoughts with us at the end of the race, or perhaps say something towards his opponents. Maybe we'll see. Yeah. Anyway, that was definitely interesting. For a moment, I thought it's gonna be only 2 safety cars, and I was surprised because, like, genuinely nobody predicted it's gonna be a 2 safety car race in here. Most of the people were like, 3, maybe even 5, but nobody said 2. And this was almost a 2 safety car race here in Baku, but no, at the end of the day, it was a 3 safety cars GP, and still gave us plenty of emotions, gave us plenty of good moments, a lot of carnage for sure. So and memorable safety car glitch. So we had a bit of everything in today's GP.
Yeah, come into interview channel if anyone wants an interview. Otherwise, we will wrap it up. But Silverstone next week, and that will be an interesting battle to see it continue between the top drivers.
Yeah, exactly. Larson just said in the chat that he would have been in the points if he pitted on soft. Yeah. We have Gamer in an interview section and Christian. So you want to bring the both of them together, or somebody first? There we go. What's up, boys?
Hello.
Hello.
So, finish to remember for sure for a lot of you guys. So, how would you rate the Azerbaijan Grand Prix from your point of view?
Depressing at the end, at least. Oh my god! I think I had good, standard strat, medium, hard. I was lucky also with the safety car at that point, but I don't know. I think I didn't have pace on Christian, and I think he also had like more ERS. I think at the end, because I ran out early in the straight, and he ran out like before the finish line. But I'm happy. I think my pace was very decent and competitive. I think with the others. So yeah, third P2 in a row. I'm happy, but I want to win. Hopefully next week or the week after.
Yeah, was that a actual plan to just hold on behind Christian to the final line and just get him on the final finish line, or was that just the outcome of him getting past you before and you were just following through where you were trying to overtake him but you just couldn't? What was the result?
Um, well, I think he had like better exit the last sector. But and the DRS was just not good for me because it was only the short straight and the last straight, and I just couldn't really stay close with him so I can overtake the last straight. And also I think I had more downforce because I seem to gain more in the second sector to him, so I think I had higher downforce than him. So yeah, maybe that was a downfall because I just couldn't catch up fast in the straights, and I had to use a lot of ERS to I think overtake him when he was letting me go. I think mid race. So I think I had just less ERS overall because I had higher downforce in him.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes, exactly. So, Christian, how would you rate this race? Because obviously you had a bit of better moment in the finish line, at least.
Well, oh, I'm sorry.
Oh, he's dying.
Yeah, just about. I just want to say you were really fast. You were an absolute unit in the middle sector. I just couldn't figure it out because in my head you weren't like crazy slow and straight, but you were extremely fast in the middle sector. But skill issue, I guess.
Yeah, I don't know, that Casa section. It was just so good to me, but I think the corner or the two corners before you gained always. But the Casa section again 2 or 3 turns
Yeah.
every time. So
I
I don't
was.
know uh, when I was behind you, I saw you taking a different line than me. I think you tried to open up the last left-hander, and
Yeah.
I didn't. And I don't know, yours should be faster because you have an open corner there. You could take more speed, but I don't know. Maybe I'm just sending it into the gas section, and
Yeah, I think yeah, because I'm just nailing through it because it's literally a make or break corner. You either make the corner or break your car.
yeah, definitely it's just
I mean,
so risky there.
yeah, I hate it.
But the quality up though, oh, that
Thank you.
is man.
My heart
I,
rate was 165.
yeah, I bet I did a 0.7, and then I tried to go for a last lap, and I was too slow. But even then, I think my maximum was a 0.4. I think even your TT was a 0.4, right?
Yeah.
So you beat your TT even. So that was just mega laugh for me. I think it's much deserved.
I mean,
Quality
it was my
Paul.
PB. It was my PB online
Oh
PB.
my god, Paul, fast lap, win and fucking PB. Just perfect race. Honestly, the last 2 races you had bad luck with incidents and stuff. So I think that's just a good ending to that
Yeah.
bad streak, you know. So
I'm
GG.
I'm happy I won finally, but I always feel sorry for the ones that lose because I know the feeling. I hate it.
At least I got more points than Rompus, so I'm happy there, you know.
Yeah, true.
Yeah, so guys, next week it's gonna be Silverstone. What are your thoughts and feeling about the UK truck?
Neutral, I don't know. It's not my favorite, but I don't know. I can't seem to get the pace there. Also, same for Baku. So maybe I'm just lying to myself, and maybe I improved over the season. But I don't know. I think like Silverstone is just not my style in terms of corners and stuff. So I'm not maximizing like the corners, but I'm just hoping to have like a clean season, just no DNFs, like podiums and stuff, and I think that will be enough to have a chance in the end. Because I don't think I'll be like best at any track, but I'll just be decently high and hope for the best.
What about you, Christian?
Yeah, I like it. I think it's good. I'm not slow, but I don't know if I'm fast. So I guess time will tell.
That's the most important part of it. Okay, so thank you guys for your time. Unless Joel wants to add something to you, any question?
Nope.
Okay, then thank you for your time, boys. Congratulations on your results, and good luck for the next race. And we'll see you next week.
Thank you. Bye bye.
Woo, thank you. See you.
Bye.
Bye.
So that will be a wrap of our Baku Grand Prix in season 14 of Tier 2 of Slipstream League Racing. So, what do you want to add as a cherry on top?
Come back tomorrow, I guess. Tier
I
1,
guess, and if you
same
want to.
time. Yeah. Yeah. And next week is the best track on the calendar, so join us then.
Yeah, so we'll see you there, and we'll be happy to talk to you again. So I was CM Punk, and today I was doing co-stream with Joel.
Yes, that's my name. It's always awkward
Yeah,
finishing
exactly.
these. I don't know how to
It
finish.
is. Babulas was always amazing at this. I miss him so much at these
Yeah.
moments because he was always just coming in so full of confidence. He was like, if you feel happy, feel free to subscribe, to watch our Twitch channel, and do everything you can do. So yeah, that's what we're gonna leave you guys with, and we'll see you next week. So thank you for your time, and